The Last Voyage of Sindbad by Richard Corben and Jan Strnad. This is one in the line of Richard Corben books that are being republished with art restoration by Jose Villarrubia, published by Dark Horse Comics. This book is really gorgeous. Have a copy of the first volume of Den. I like Richard Corben's work a lot. Not a super fan, not as knowledgeable as I would like to be, but I just thought that Richard Corben and a story of this type of story with Sindbad would be a perfect fit, and I'm right. This is a dust jacket. This is the book without the dust jacket. The dust jackets in this cover have the same picture. It's interesting to see because this is on gloss paper. This is larger. It's on matte, and it's just kind of interesting. You can go back and forth and see what pops, what doesn't, how the colors work. It's just kind of interesting art-wise to look at. It's printed with really nice, thick, glossy paper. Not too shiny, but enough to give the colors some pop. There are 4 introductions. The first one by Jan Strnad. The second one by director Guillermo del Toro. The third one by Harlan Ellison. This is from a 1979 or 80 reprint. Harlan Ellison really praised this book, and if you're familiar with Harlan Ellison, he was a guy that did not impress easily. And so for him to give this book high praise was something. And then at the end, or not the end, but the final introduction is by Maurice Horn from the 1980s. He was one of the first people to study comics as an academic, to give it really academic studies and study comics, take it seriously. So having said all that, this is sort of like an untold story, or let's say the final voyage later in Sindbad's life, another adventure. And I'm not an expert on Arabic stories or stories by Muslim authors. I will say that this didn't read like a stereotypical story from a bunch of white guys trying to tell an Arabic story. This actually feels like an Arabic story that was translated into English. I just want to show some of the art here. Some of the art is fantastic. I mean, there's a lot. I like this book because there's a lot of straight ahead traditional panel uses, and then there's things like this. The colors here are just amazing. The restoration really helps. So does the paper. Just want to show a few pages that I know of. Just this art alone is just great. Once in a while, you just see these big one-page panels that really kind of like just kind of gives breadth and scope, because you realize that this is a giant holding this man far above a city. Sindbad ends up going on an adventure, of course, because it's the last voyage of Sindbad. There's this one fight sequence where they come across the undead, basically zombies. And I just love the sequence. Look at 10-page battle sequence, and there's hardly any words, and the storytelling is really good. I think fight sequences, battle sequences are hard to do in comics, but it's done really well here. And I like how some of the panels have backgrounds. Some of them are just color. Some of them are just white. This is from the 1970s, so just that white background was something that you didn't see that often, but I think it's really effective here. And I'm not going to spoil the story, but like a lot of myths, this is like a cautionary tale as well as an adventure tale. And it's just a really gorgeous book. I mean, if you just look at all this, and let me just go through another few panels just so we can see how great it looks. This scene with the treasure, just all these different colors, but also just how they all fit in, how it should almost be too much saturation, but somehow it works. This is just a really lovely, well put together book. So if you have these books, I would recommend you keep getting these books. If you've seen these books and you're not sure about picking one up, but you're a fan of either like just Sindbad stories or adventure stories from another time, I would definitely consider picking this up or just looking through it. It's a really high quality product. I'm really happy that Dark Horse has become a publisher of really high quality books. And that's really it. Just really enjoy. I really enjoyed this a lot. This was just a fun. It was just fun reading an adventure story from another time, or set in another time, actually. So that's all I can say. If you have any comments or suggestions of other Corben work I may want to read, please let me know. Thank you.